Hey, Luke here with the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and welcome to the interior of Alaska. For the next 3 days, I'm fishing, hunting, camping, foraging, and eating what I find. I'm driving down the highway and there's a grouse on the side of the road. All right, let's do this. Right there. Whole bunch of them right there. Didn't get anything, but it's a good omen. It is a cold, sloppy day to go camping. It's a high of 50 degrees right now. It's only supposed to get colder, but hopefully the weather will be better tomorrow. Flying over. Oh, the ground is so rocky here, it keeps flipping my cart. I'm gonna go ahead and lay it flat to try to lower the center of gravity. Hopefully that'll stop tipping over. It took me 6 hours to drive here and it's already 7 p.m. I've got about 3.5 miles to go before I get to where I want to camp. Whew, it's cold out here. Oh, these rocks are killing me. I've flipped my cart or had to adjust my load so many times so far. This is really slowing me down. Well, it's about 9 p.m. and I haven't eaten dinner yet. I made it about 3.5 miles, so I'm pretty darn close to the end of the trail. I think I need to just go ahead and set up my tent. It is late and I am cold and wet. This tundra is so lumpy, I gotta find a flat spot. This is about as flat as I'm gonna get. Inside of my backpack got a little wet, but my sleeping bag's dry. One of the first things I gotta do is dry my gun. Don't want it rusting. Right around freezing. I think we got about a 50-50 chance of waking up to snow. Cold rain like this is the worst. I'd rather be in -20 than cold rain. Brought a little bag of ugali. It's ground up white corn maize and is a staple food over in East Africa. Ugali tastes really similar to grits. I took one of these Lipton chicken noodle soup packets, which is pretty much just chicken noodle soup broth, and then I added about an ounce of ugali, and look at it, it's turned it into a whole thing of porridge. I've been eating this ugali a lot since our trip to Tanzania last spring, and it's quickly becoming one of my favorite camp foods. I'm cold, wet, and tired. I'm gonna put the camera down and see you guys in the morning. Good morning. Oh, it is cold. This is a 15-degree bag, and I've got all my clothes on inside, and I am just barely warm. I don't want to get up, but I really have to use the bathroom. I brought some thermals to wear under my pants, and I forgot them in the car. Oh, and I'm so regretting it. It's just a few degrees above freezing. It's not raining, but I think I'm going to put my rain gear on just for warmth. I need to walk around to get some warmth up, and I need to get some water, so I'm going to head over to this river. While that's boiling, I'm going to go ahead and start collecting some berries for breakfast. See right there? Those are blueberries right there. It's not a very good year for blueberries this year. For whatever reason, the blueberry bushes seem to be pretty barren. We got tons of these crowberries around here. See, they grow in these little clumps. Crowberries are a little bit more inconsistent in their flavor, but I like them better. All these years of picking up my kids' Legos has paid off. There we go. It's about a pound of crowberries right there. Some orange zest herbal tea here. We're gonna add some crowberries to it. Oh, that warms my fingers up. I'm seeing blueberry bushes all over the place, but I've only found like 2 blueberries. This leaf is from a plant called Arctic lupin. It's poisonous. It's one of the things you gotta be careful with foraging. It's easy to snatch up poisonous plants and run your fingers through it and then see the plants stick to your hands. Then you wash off your hands. Leaves stick to your hand, the berries roll off. Alrighty, it's looking a lot cleaner. You see I'm boiling this, and the berries that are ripe and soft will fall apart quickly, and the berries that are not ripe take a lot longer to break down. So what ends up happening is the juice in the pot ends up being just from the ripe berries. There we go, a big pot of crowberry oatmeal. If you've never had a crowberry, they taste a little bit like a blackberry in my mind. You know how blackberries can either be really good or really bad? Crowberries can be like that, but they're crunchier. Now that I got some food in me, I think I want to do a little exploring. See a trail that goes up over these hills, and I just want to see where it goes. I'm just so glad it's not raining anymore. Definitely keeping my eye out for ptarmigan. I would love to eat some for dinner tonight. Oh, look at all these blueberries. Oh, man, this looks like a prime spot for ptarmigan. So I'm just following game trails, and I'm trying to stay on the ridges because we got all this fog coming in and out. I can't navigate by landmarks. I got to be able to find my way back even if the visibility gets really bad. These are low bush cranberries. They're not a bad berry, but you don't want to eat them raw. They're best in jams. A mouse has been using this to store blueberries. There's a little stash of blueberries underneath it. Oh, look, the mountains are peeking out. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll clear up today. I want to walk that ridge along the lake, but there's all that really thick willows right in there. I'm thinking my best bet's right in there.
You get down these gullies and the brush gets tall and it's hard to move. You can't see anything. And if there was a bear in here, I wouldn't know it until I stepped on him. That's not good. Grizzly bears aren't known for liking surprises. There we go. Let's get some more elevation. You can stay on the ridges. It's pretty easy hiking. The wolves, the caribou, the bear, the moose, they all do the same thing that I'm doing. They try to go from ridge to ridge, and there's these little pockets in between the ridges. Parking squirrel right there. I could shoot him and I could eat him, but I've done that before and I didn't like it. It's like tough, gamey buffalo wings. I always heard that they called them parky squirrels because you sew the skin into a parka. Each fall, huge herds of caribou have to migrate through these mountains. And this valley is a choke point. There's very little room on the side of this lake for the caribou. So hunters will wait here to ambush the caribou herds as they come by. For thousands of years, indigenous hunters have come here to this valley to hunt caribou. But because of that, there's lots of archaeological sites around this valley. I just heard a ptarmigan. It was really faint, but maybe coming from that way. Ptarmigan make this really distinct cackle noise when they see predators. Stop sprinkling, the sun's coming out. The weather's gone from horrible to all right. Oh, I'm gonna get wet and knock the water off before I go past. You walk through the brush and you just get soaked. That right there is grizzly bear poo. It's like berries and leaves and fur. I think there's a marmot or something on top of that rock. He was sitting right there on that rock. The duck right there. Duck hunting season doesn't start for another 2 weeks. Moose or caribou bones right there. Oh, I wet my pants. Oh, it's starting to rain again. Look up there, it's starting to snow on top of the mountain. Alaska, we call that dust. Termination of summer. Well, I spent about 4.5 hours hiking around looking for ptarmigan, and that didn't pan out. So I'm gonna shift gears and see if we can't catch some fish. Go downstream a little bit. Oh, there we go. That is a beautiful Arctic grayling. Look at that. All right, I got something to eat. Nice fish. Whew. Nice one. Look at that. He's a little bit too nice. I don't have the heart to eat that one. That guy was about 18 inches. That's a huge grayling. I'd rather eat 2 or 3 normal sized ones. The best way to catch grayling is with a dry fly, but you tend to catch huge ones with spinners. There we go. Oh, that's another gorgeous grayling. Oh, these are cloudberries. You don't find those in large numbers. You only get 1 berry per plant. They're kind of a rare treat. Got a deep channel there, got a little bit of a channel here, and we got it where it drops off after these riffles. That's where I want to hit. There we go. Look at that. Another beautiful grayling. I got a soft spot for grayling. It's hard to kill such a beautiful fish. There's grayling jumping everywhere. If I had a dry fly, I'd be catching a lot more. There we go. That's another beautiful grayling. Oh, I just lost my lure. This is too much fun. All my lures are back at the camp. Grayling love to eat dry flies, and if you don't know which dry fly to use an elk hair caddis. Oh, there we go. Just right there. Just fiddling with the camera. And now that seems like a good eating size one. Just dozens of these graylings rising to flies. 2 nice grayling right there. That's enough. I got enough fish for dinner tonight, but I want to catch a few more just for fun. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. What a beautiful fish. I keep thinking about those thermals I left in the car last night. My legs are really wet and cold. I'm really tempted to take the gun and the bike and do the 6-mile round trip back to the car to go get my thermals. With this better weather, there's a decent chance I might see a ptarmigan on the trail too. I brought the inflatable pack raft with me just in case I wanted to explore the lake. I don't think that's gonna happen, so I'm gonna go ahead and strap it to the bike and bring it back to the car. Make things a lot easier tomorrow. Well, it's a little bit under 7 miles round trip, but without the trailer, I should be able to do it pretty quick. Alrighty, tell you, when the sun comes out like this tundra is so beautiful. Got some bread flour and yeast. I'm gonna make up some bread dough. Stick this in the tent, let it ferment for a couple hours. I brought my little 3-weight fly rod along. It would be a shame to not bust it out and catch some grayling. This thing was made for catching grayling. Before we go fly fishing, I gotta gut these fish. That should keep the fish cold and keep the birds off it. That trick works most of the time, but I have had weasels steal fish before. That's another beautiful one. Oh, look at that. Oh, there, right there. Immediate hit. This reminds me of fishing with my dad and brother growing up. I wish they were here right now. Jumped clean out of the water like Shamu. I fished a lot of places where this would be a really big fish. Instead, it's like the smallest one here. All right, another beautiful grayling. This is fly fishing heaven right here. Catching big grayling on a dry fly in the middle of a river like this. Oh, I love this. Grayling are just perfect for fly fishing. They live in these shallow little beautiful streams. They always love a dry fly, and the more you cast to them, the more excited they get. And you can actually whip them up into a frenzy by casting to them a bunch. Ooh, that was a nice one. This little pool is only about 1.5 feet deep, and there's probably 20 to 30 grayling right there. Oh, look at that, he just came right at it. Oh, there he goes. There we go. There. Oh, that's another big one. Well, I've completely lost track of how many grayling I caught. It's gotta be somewhere around 20 to 30. But the wind's picked up and I'm getting a little cold and I'm getting a little hungry. I'll tell you what, that is just a fun creek to fish. It's a little past 6 o'clock. I think it's time to make some dinner. Grayling have really thin little scales, kind of like a trout. So when you fry them in oil, the scales get crispy, kind of like potato chips. Got some of our bread dough. All right. Got our crowberries here. Ain't fancy, but got warm bread, melted butter and honey. Putting some hot crowberries on them. And I got crispy grayling. Grayling's just a real clean white meat. Very similar to bluegill. And that skin's the best part. Oh, it's hot. I'm full. But yeah, it's 7 o'clock and I'm pretty tired. I think I'm gonna go and just button up everything and get ready for bed.
Really glad I got my thermal pants on. Totally worth the trip.
There we go. Till the bread's fermented nice. Bread dough will last 3 or 4 days in the bag like this. Then eventually it just becomes sourdough. All right. Got a little bit of the crowberry sauce left. There we go. Little fry bread. I'm gonna try really hard not to stain my sleeping bag.
That's good. That was very good. It's almost exactly the same temperature it was yesterday morning, but I am so much warmer. Having my thermals on my legs made a huge difference, and I woke up warm instead of waking up cold. Not having it raining and having the humidity lower sure helps too. This has been a great campsite. I can't believe I haven't seen or heard anybody. There's just thousands of places just like this in Alaska. The biggest problem is picking where to pull your car over and start walking. It's time to pack up and start heading home. It's gonna take me about 7 hours to get home. Do a quick walk around, see if I forgot anything. I think that's it. Nice clear day early in the morning like this. There's really good chance I'll see a ptarmigan on the trail. I haven't given up hope. Oh, these rocks make it hard with the trailer. I'm okay. I think this might be one of those slow is fast, fast is slow situations. It's actually going better than it did the first time. Oh, you know, I think this might be the last trip I have with this coat. It's got a lot of holes in it. Yeah. Oh, there's another one. Every time I take it off, I see feathers floating around. Well, guys, it's been fun. I'm anxious to go home and see my family. All right, guys, see you next time. If you like that video, make sure to check out the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, where we have hundreds of videos just like this. And if you want to see our newest adventures, make sure to click subscribe so you'll get notifications.